Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay and having a great day. Thank you very much for coming and tuning in to Warren's Team Talk. I've come on here today to do a preview with you for the Arsenal versus Leeds United Carabao Cup match, which is taking place tonight at the Emirates Stadium. Should be an exciting game, hopefully. Um, and I'm gonna break it all down and have a look at it and see what I think is gonna happen. And it should be interesting and bit of a laugh. So let's see what happens. Anyway, I hope you're all well, like I say, and I hope you're having a great day and having lots of fun and you're fit and healthy and enjoying yourselves. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get on with it. So, like I say, Arsenal are playing Leeds United tonight in the Carabao Cup fourth round. And first of all, let's have a look at the head-to-head record between the two clubs. So, as you can see, Arsenal have beaten Leeds on 48 occasions in total in all the times that they've met. Leeds have had 41 victories and there have been 33 drawn games. So Arsenal historically have a slight edge over Leeds in that respect. Next thing we're going to look at is Leeds' form so far this season. They're currently sitting 17th in the FA Premier League, which must be a massive concern for them. I mean, when they first came up last season, they did really well. They finished about halfway up the table, I think. And I'm sure they probably felt pretty confident that they were going to kick on, but it hasn't really worked out that way. They've only, like I say, out of their first 9 games, they've only won 1 game, but they've drawn 4 and they've lost 4. And they've scored 8 and let in 16. So it's clear where the problems are. They're not scoring enough and they're letting in far too many. So it really needs to be addressed. So if they want to start climbing up the table. But in terms of the Carabao Cup, they played in 2 rounds so far. Back in August, and the second round they won fairly comfortably 3-0 against Crewe Alexander. And then in the third round they defeated Fulham 6-5 on aggregate at Craven Cottage after the game ended in a 0-0 draw. So there you have it, people. So let's move on again and look at Arsenal. Well, Arsenal currently we're sitting in 10th place. There's been an upturn in form, and although, we're still sitting like halfway down the table, we're sitting in 10th. We've still got a negative goal difference. And for me, I still think that Mikel Arteta is not the right man for the job. I think he needs to be replaced. I'm not convinced about the recent upturn in form. We've had this so many times under this manager. When his job looks like it could be on the line, he suddenly pulls out a few good results and then the pressure's off and we go back to the team putting in lackluster performances and, then the whole cycle repeats itself. It's like a massive merry-go-round. And that's why I say that I think him and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are very similar in what's going on with their clubs. It really does remind me. They seem very, very similar in that respect. So for Arsenal, in terms of the Carabao Cup, again, the same as Leeds. They've had 2 games in the tournament so far. In the second round, they thumped West Bromwich Albion 6-0 away from home back in August. And then on the 22nd of September, they played Wimbledon at home, and again they won by 3-0, but it was far from comfortable. They were only winning 1-0 until like the dying embers of the game, when they suddenly scored a couple more and made it 3-0, which was it's a bit alarming, really, when you consider that their opponents are in League One. So the recent record between the two clubs, so let's look at that now. So I'm going to look at the last 5 matches in all competitions between Arsenal and Leeds. And we're going to go back for 10 years for the first game, which was on the 19th of January 2011, when Arsenal defeated Leeds United 3-1 at Ellen Road in the FA Cup. And then the following year, on the 9th of January, Arsenal again played Leeds United in the FA Cup and won 1-0. And that was the famous game where Thierry Henry made his comeback appearance for Arsenal after leaving the club to play for Barcelona and New York Red Bulls. He came back to Arsenal on loan, and he ended up scoring the winning goal. In anyone who's seen that Thierry Henry documentary, you'll be able to hear him talking about how emotional that night was for him. Anyway, so then on the 6th of January last year, Arsenal defeated Leeds United again at the Emirates Stadium by 1-0. And then last season, Leeds United and Arsenal fought out a 0-0 draw at Ellen Road in the game, which saw Nicolas Pepe getting sent off after suffering, in my opinion, a lot of provocation from the Leeds player before lashing out. And Granit Xhaka at the end of the game, rather than sticking up for his teammate, was laughing and joking and cuddling and high-fiving with the guy that had got Pepe sent off. Absolutely disgusting behaviour, in my opinion. But there you go. I can't stand Granit Xhaka, and the sooner that he leaves this club, in my opinion, the better. And then on Valentine's Day earlier this year, Arsenal defeated Leeds United by 4-2 at the Emirates Stadium, and that game was played last season. And Arsenal took all 3 points in what turned out to be a very comfortable victory. So that's the recent record between the two clubs. Now, the team news for tonight's game is that it's not expected that Kieran Tierney is going to return to the starting 11 for the game tonight. He was left out of the starting lineup on Friday night for the game against Aston Villa because we were told that he's picked up an injury. But it looks certain that Mikel Arteta is going to make several changes for the visit of Leeds for this 4th round Carabao Cup clash. So it looks like he might shuffle his deck, as they say. Hopefully he'll bring in some youngsters and fringe players for this game. And then as for Leeds, it is expected that Rafinha could be back available for selection, but it seems that the other players on the Leeds treatment table, such as Patrick Bamford, Luke Ayling and Junior Firpo and Robin Koch, are unlikely to be ready. So I'm really not sure what sort of team Leeds are going to put out, but it would not surprise me in the slightest if they didn't put out a very much changed selection from what they did at the weekend in their Premier League game that they played. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So the big question really is, what will Mikel Windy Miller Arteta do with his team? Anyone who is as old as I am and used to watch kids' TV in the 70s will know who Windy Miller is and how he used to live in a windmill. And anyone who's seen Mikel Arteta when he's been on the touchline at Arsenal will know what I'm talking about when I refer to him as Windy Miller. So let me just go back. And we've got a lot of comments here. Let me just go into these, read these comments out. Sorry, guys, that I hadn't been reading the comments. I completely forgot. I was trying something new with StreamYard, and I'm not able to see the comments. James Dunlop says, "Hi, Warren. How are you? Sorry, I hope you're well." Yeah, I'm good, mate, actually. Thanks very much. I hope you're well as well. And he's coming with another chat. He says, "I think you'll win against Leeds. They'll probably play a weak side as they're struggling in the league." That's what I think as well, mate. Then he's coming with another chat saying, "I'd just like to say rest in peace to Walter Smith. Had a huge success at Rangers as a manager, and he had a spell as a manager with us as well. To steady the ship when we were fighting relegation in the 90s. Yeah, I remember him at Goodison Park. Yes, and I'd like to give my condolences as well, because he was he did a good job at Goodison Park, I believe, and he did a good job for the Scotland national team. And yeah, he was manager at Rangers. That's all I want to say about his spell at Rangers, to be quite honest. But big up to Walter Smith, and may he rest in peace. And condolences go out to all his family and friends and people that played with him or played for him. People like Ali McCoist and Big Duncan Ferguson. I'm sure that they're upset about it, about his passing and everything. So yeah. Drawn by Jay. Hey Warren, mate. Hi, mate. How are you? I hope you're okay, mate. I hope you're looking forward to your big night out at the Emirates Stadium tonight. I think you know what I'm talking about. We heard that we're going to rotate our lineup. Yeah, I think we should as well, to be quite frank. But I hope, in all seriousness, I hope you have a really great time tonight, mate, and that you enjoy the match. Tony Blackwell says, "Afternoon, Warren." Afternoon to you as well, Tony. Great stream, wasn't it, last night? With Terry, with Diesel and Lee Gunner and Jez. I still haven't finished watching it. I was in the middle of watching it when I was doing this. So I've got about a couple of minutes left to go, and I'm going to finish that off in a minute. Tony says, "Afternoon, James." And Jamie Hill's here as well. Bonjour, Jamie. Hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you. And James Dunlop says, "Afternoon, Tony." Jamie says, "Hello, Warren. How are you, mate?" I'm fine, buddy. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Tony Blackwell says, "Hello, Windy Miller." Yeah, I hope you like my little picture about Windy Miller. For the younger ones who don't know who Windy Miller was, he was like a kids' TV character. It was on. It was a TV show. Was it Trumpton, the show? Was that what it was called? Maybe, Tony, you can help me out with this. But yeah, he was like a character in like a kids' TV show in the 70s. It was great. I absolutely loved it. And he lived in a windmill. And the reason that I'm going on about Windy Miller and Mikel Arteta is watch Mikel Arteta when he's on the touchline. And the way he throws his arms about, it's like a bloody windmill. It really is. So that's why I've nicknamed him Windy Miller. And spoken word poetry, Jamie Hill says, "Hello, everyone." Tony Blackwell says, "Rest in peace, Walter Smith, 73. Not old at all, James." No, it's not. It is really sad, in all fairness. And although I'm a massive Celtic fan, I have to pay my respects to him because he did a lot for the Scottish national team. He really improved the team's fortunes and did a great job with the national team. He really did. Had a lot of success with a very, very poor side. He wasn't, Tony. Really sad news today. It is sad news for anyone connected with the clubs that he managed and played for and stuff like that, and the players that he managed as well. I'm sure Big Duncan Ferguson's suffering today. And as his family and his friends and all the rest of it. So yeah, big respect to Walter Smith. Spoken word poetry, Jamie Hill saying Arsenal 0, Leeds 2. Yeah, mate. I mean, it just all depends what sort of lineup they put out, because I'm sure that Leeds are going to shuffle their pack, as they say, and I'm sure that Arsenal will do exactly the same. Tony Blackwell says it was James. Ali McCoy gave him memory of him on TalkSport. He was gutted. I bet he was. I haven't heard that, but I'm sure Ali McCoy is absolutely devastated. I saw that too, said James Dunlop. And then James Dunlop said, last night was a really good. Big up to Diesel, Lee Gunner, and to Jez. Yeah, it was great, especially Jez talking about the women in Newcastle. I thought that was hilarious. Top man. Tony Blackwell, was a good stream last night. At least you got on there last night. I did, and I was gutted that I missed it. I missed the start of it because I'd love to have been in there from the start. And Jamie Hill says, I'm good, thanks. And he also says, I'm on the Cambridge diet. Well, fair play to you, mate. I don't really know anything about it, but if it works for you, then fair play to you, mate. And good luck with it. I hope it gives you the results that you want. Trumpton Warren, Tony Blackwell says, yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, so I'm sure there's some footage of it on YouTube, I'm sure. But yeah, check it out because he eats Windy Miller. There's no doubt about it. And James Dunlop says, Kevin Campbell tweeted a tribute to Walter Smith. He brought into us and saved us. Yeah, because at one point I remember you were in severe danger of being relegated, wasn't you? I remember that year that, I think, was it the year that Arsenal first won the league under Arsene Wenger? We beat you 4-0 in the last game of the season, and you were fighting against relegation for a lot of that season. So, yeah, I hope that all his family and friends are, well, I'd like to pass on my condolences to them and all the players that played under him and everyone that knew him and all that sort of stuff. So, and Tony Blackwell says, Warren, check out Dumpton, an alternative to Trumpton. Oh, my good God. Oh, my word. I'm sure that's going to be wild. And then there was that punk band, wasn't there? Half Man, Half Biscuit. They brought out a record. And on one side, it had the single, they had a song called The Trumpton Riots. And then on the other side, they had All I Want for Christmas is a Duke Replag Away Kit. It was wild. Absolutely wild. Tony Blackwell says it's on YouTube. Man, I'm going to check that out because I think that's going to be hilarious. So yeah. So let's move on. So now we've got two lineups here. These are some lineups. I thought about this and I wondered what Leeds would do. Now these lineups. The first one is for Leeds game against Fulham in the EFL Cup on the 21st of September. And the second one is the lineup that they put out for the game against Wolves in the Premier League this past weekend. And as you can see, the formations are completely different, and the personnel, there's a lot of personnel either that's different in the two lineups, or they're playing in completely different positions. And I think the same may happen tonight. But this lineup that's on the BBC website for the match against Wolves this weekend, when we was doing the match day live at the weekend, that lineup wasn't like that. It wasn't that formation. It wasn't a 4-4-1-1. It was a 3-3-3-1, which was completely bonkers. I've never ever seen a 3-3-3-3-1 formation before, ever. So yeah. So let's go back here. Yeah, so what it's anyone's guess really what Bielsa will do in this for this game tonight. Who knows what's going to happen? So for Arsenal against Leeds, here is my predicted lineup for the match tonight. Right, so it's not my predicted lineup, sorry. It's what I would do if I was managing the club. I would go with Bernd Leno in goal, and then I'd have a back three of Pablo Mari on the left, Gabriel in the centre, and Rob Holding on the right of a three-man centre back back line. And then I'd have two wing backs. I'd have Nuno Tavares on as the left wing back, and Cedric Suarez as the right wing back. And then two anchoring midfield players. I'd have Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Mohamed El Neni. And then a front three of Martinelli, Florin Balogun, and Pepe just behind them in the number 10 role. So as you can see, I've changed it about quite a bit from the weekend. Hopefully Mari and Holding won't let us down if they do get to perform, get a chance in the team. And I really want to see Martinelli and Balogun get a chance as well. I really do. And so that's what I'd like to see. I did toy with the idea of putting Kolasinac in, but I just think his head's gone. And the sooner we get him out of the club, the better. I just don't think I wouldn't pay him in my pub team, let alone an Arsenal 11. So yeah, that's my Arsenal team. So my predicted result for tonight's match is I think Arsenal will win by 2-1. Because it's impossible to know really what's going to happen, because we don't know what Windy Miller and Marcelo Bielsa are going to do with their lineups. It's just anybody's guess. So the rest of the Carabao Cup fourth round ties this week are Chelsea against Southampton. I think Chelsea will probably win that game fairly comfortably, although I expect them to change the team around quite a bit. QPR against Sunderland. I've got no idea what's going to happen in that game. I know that QPR are in the Championship and Sunderland are in League One. And hold on a sec. Yeah, so QPR sitting 7th in the Championship and Sunderland are 4th in League One. So you really expect QPR to win that. Stoke against Brentford. Stoke are sitting 9th in the Championship. And as we all know, Brentford are like steamrolling. Well, not steamrolling. They're doing really well in the Premier League this season after being promoted. Be interesting to see if Kevin Campbell's son gets a start tonight for Stoke. If he does, I hope he does well and maybe grabs a couple. It'd be nice to see. West Ham against Manchester City. That's the big tie of the round for me. And hopefully West Ham can finally end this stranglehold that Manchester City seem to have over the cup, the Carabao Cup. Leicester City against Brighton. That's interesting, given that they what happened in the weekend. But Leicester is starting to find some form. Brighton got thumped 4-1 at home by Manchester City. Burnley against Spurs. All I've got to say about that one is Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. And hopefully they'll get battered up at Turf Moor tonight. And then Preston North End against Liverpool. Jesus. If I was a Preston fan, I'd be terrified about that game. I really would. So, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen there. Imperative Views has come in. So, hi, Imperative Views. How are you, mate? Thanks for coming into my stream. Hopefully Martinelli gets to start, but I doubt it. Yeah, I just don't think that Arteta likes him, or Windy Miller, as I'm calling him from now on. I just don't think he likes him, and I don't understand what he's done. And maybe something's gone on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But I just don't understand how he can't get a start. Maybe it's because it wasn't him that signed him. I just don't get it. James Dunlop says 3-1 Arsenal. I'm going for Leeds to need to focus on getting points in the league. They do, mate. And Arsenal do as well. And that's why I want Arsenal to make a changed put a changed lineup in, because we need to think about our league form and start getting up that league table. Tony Blackwell says hard one to call. Arsenal starting to look better, but if Windy puts out a weakened team, it may be end to end. Yeah, and both Leeds are a very attack-minded side, aren't they? And they can be quite open, and I think they might go for it. But it depends, again, what sort of side he puts out. Because they desperately need points to avoid relegation, because it's not looking good for them. Tony Blackwell says, at Imperative, what does Martinelli need to do to get regular football? It's just weird. It is weird, because I think he's one of the best young talents in the world. I honestly do. I know people are going to think I'm mad for saying that, but I do. I really rate him, and I know that Jurgen Klopp's got his eye on him, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him end up at Liverpool and start ripping it up for Liverpool. I really wouldn't. I just think it's possibly because Mikel Arteta didn't sign him. He doesn't like him, and he wants the team to be full of players that he signed, so that he can say, look, that's my team. That's what I did with players that I signed. I identified those players and brought them in here, so on and so forth. So, yeah, there you go. James Dunlop says, I think everyone is rooting for West Ham to end City's dominance in the League Cup. I am, mate. I just don't think it's healthy, to be quite frank. And I'd love to see West Ham knock them out. Whether it will happen or not, that's another thing, but can only hope. Love that, Warren. Okay. What is it you love? Is it the Windy Miller thing? Yeah, I hope so. Tottenham keep losing. Yeah. It's hilarious, man. It really is. Anyone who hasn't seen it, go and check out Expressions, like live streaming in the West Ham game. It was really funny, really hilarious. It was like towards the end of the match. I think it was about 2 minutes to go in the game, and he was talking about everywhere he goes, he keeps hearing that song. People keep singing it. He's been at supermarkets. He's been at, these furniture stores, places like that. Anywhere he goes outside, and all he's getting is people singing Tottenham, get battered everywhere they go. And he said it's winding him up. He's had about enough of it. It's absolutely hilarious. Tony Blackpool says, when we played City last time, it was a very close game. So who knows tomorrow? Yeah, and it also, again, it's another one of these games because a lot of teams in this tournament, they tend to play weakened sides, don't they? Or much changed sides, let's say. So who knows what's going to happen? Jamie Hill says, I've got a feeling Arsenal will lose. Oh, don't say that, Jamie. Please don't say that. I want us to do really well in this tournament because I think it's important that we do well in the league, but we also get some silverware in the cabinet. I really do. I think it's important. Imperative View says maybe he has to leave the club, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. It might be the only solution for the benefit of his career because I know he's voiced frustrations about his lack of game time. And I don't know how much longer he's got left to run on his contract. But I think if it doesn't start improving soon, we run the risk of losing him. And there's Limesy. Hi, Limesy. I've not seen you in my chat before, I don't think. So welcome to you, my friend. Thank you very much for coming over and joining in. I hope you're enjoying what I've got for you. And Limesy saying what a lot of people seem to not realise is Leeds was 15th this time last year. We are only 17th now, so it's nothing to do with Bielsa being caught out with 6 first-team players injured. Right, so you're a Leeds fan. Oh, fair play to you, man. Welcome to the chat. But do you think that Leeds will rest lots of players because that they're going to want to focus on resting the players that are fit for the league so they can start climbing up the league? Because if I was 17th, if Arsenal was sitting in 17th place in the league, I wouldn't want us to be risking players in a League Cup or FA Cup tie or any sort of cup tie, really. I'd want us to focus purely on getting up that league table. I really would. But yeah, and welcome, my friend. I hope you're well, and thanks for tuning in. Tony Blackwell says at Imperative, I think that will be his only option. Shane, he's a great talent. He is a great talent. I really rate him. I really do. Tony says Shane. Expressions we got to put in a split. Exactly, mate. Yeah, it was hilarious, man. It was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. Tony Blackwell says, Warren, it will Terry an excuse to say trophies if you win this one. Yeah, it will do, man. That's the only thing. He has actually messaged me on Instagram, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I might try and read it while I'm eating lunch, I think. Be interested to see what he's going to say. He's probably got some excuses and probably gloating about the victory. He only ever appears when Arsenal have won. That's what makes me laugh. So if Arsenal don't win or they lose or they draw, you never hear anything from him. You never see him. And Tony Blackwell says, blimey, I'm missing some words out there and laugh out loud. James Dunlop says, oh God, I forgot about that, Tony. Laugh out loud. Tony Blackwell says, laugh out loud, James. And Imperative Views is putting a laughing emoji. Yeah, it is funny, man. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to some other YouTubers as well while we're here. So there's the Old School Gunner, the 3 Pointers TV, Arsenal Alex, Drawn by Dre, and last but not least, the one and the only, the mighty Claude and the Banstas. Now, all these channels, they're all massive. Well, massive. I say massive. They're all excellent Arsenal YouTubers, and they all put out really excellent Arsenal content. I think their work is superb. I really enjoy watching their videos. So please, please, please go and check them out. Give them a sub and put a like on their video because their work is top drawer. And I just want to say that the stream that Diesel did last night with Lee Gunner and Jez was absolutely superb. It was brilliant. So go and check that out. The three guys just sitting there chewing the fat about Arsenal and about football in general and the old days and whatnot. It was blinding. And James Dunlop says it's like Tony Rolfe with Chelsea. He only appears when they win. Big up to him, though. Exactly. Yeah, he does. He's mad. Tony Blackwell says, I've started so I'll finish moment again. Exactly, with that alarm. Exactly. I've started, so I'll finish. I love it. And laugh out loud, Tony. Ha ha, says James Dunlop. And Tony Blackwell, James, you know them type of fans. Unlike us, we're always around, win or lose. Yeah, man. No matter how painful it is, if you're going to give it, you've got to take it, unfortunately. Definitely, Tony, says James Dunlop. Yep. I just want to ask, though, James, did you have a premonition about Saturday that in the game against Watford that you were going to get trounced by Watford at home? But, mate, seriously, though, that must have been so bloody painful watching that. Because I know you went to the game because you've got a season ticket, haven't you? So what do you think the answer is? What do you think Everton need to do to sort that out? Warren, you have to show the guys the fireworks. Yeah, anyone, let's see the fireworks. Let's put the fireworks in. Hold on. This is especially for you. This is especially for you, Tony. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm using that when I do the match day lives on a Saturday afternoon when there's a goal going. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I was worried about the game before, Warren. Everton always struggle against his team struggling in the league. Yeah, man. And it was strange because you looked like you were going to get a draw out of it. I thought, yeah, it's not great, but 2-2, at least you're not going to lose the game. And especially against a team that's struggling in the league. And then you get absolutely thumped. Like 5-2 against Watford, man. That's awful. James Warren wore out the fireworks for your game. Laugh out loud. Oh, mate. Absolutely. James Dunlop's laugh out loud, Tony. Right, okay, guys. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for my Arsenal versus Leeds United preview. I hope you all enjoyed that. And hopefully we can see Arsenal get a win tonight, but let's wait and see. I'm not overly optimistic, I have to say, but we'll see. I just hope that he doesn't play a full strength team and he gives some of these fringe players a chance. That's what I want to see. But yeah, once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for Tony Blackwell and James Dunlop, Imperative Views, and Limesy. It's great to see you, especially Limesy. I've not seen you before in my chat. I hope you enjoyed it and that you come back again soon. Because I do lots of videos, not just videos about Arsenal, but about football in general. And also thank you to Spoken Word Jamie Hill. And I'm just going through the chat to see if there's anyone else that I've missed that's tuned in. And Drawn by Dre. Sorry, mate, how could I forget you? Go and subscribe to Drawn by Dre's channel. He does an excellent podcast. I think he's going to put another one out soon. It's called the Possession Based. I think it's called the Possession Based Podcast or something like that. So yeah, go and check that out. It's great. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for tuning in, and I will be back maybe tomorrow to do a review of the Arsenal Leeds game, and then on Thursday I'm gonna do a preview for the upcoming Premier League games this weekend. And then obviously on Saturday, I'll be doing the match day live. I need to speak to Old School Gunner to see if he wants to do that as well. But yeah, so I look forward to seeing you all really soon. Tony says, take care, Ron. Catch you another time. Yeah, will do, mate. And watch out for Windy Miller, mate. That's going to be wild. Okay, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.